Greetings, my people, greetings to all, greetings to my friends in New Imo Light Vanguard. Today, our topic is all about Ohanaeze Ndigbo. So, I engage you here to by Ohanaeze no de di chiche. My brothers, because talk to the viewers and one China Chizorom and him neku. Yeah, go ahead. I know live. Greet our people.
Okay. Ụmụnne daalụkwa na afọ mbụ Maazị Chukwuka Chizorom. Awụm Imo State. Awụm isi local government. Asị m ka anyị nọrọ ya nụ tata tinye ọnụ ihe gbasara ala Igbo. Anyị nwere ike na-eme n'oyibo na-emekwe n'Igbo a ga na-agwụkọta na-eme ya isi kọgbuo. So I hope no one ga-eche ntị ka ma menwe ofu ihe na Igbo anyị ga-amụta.
Ndewo. Nwanne m Eze Ifeanyị Chukwu.
Ebe anyị kenekwe m ụnọ. Afọ m bụ Eze Ifeanyị Chukwu. Nwa wee na-eme conscious room na Facebook. Nwa nọkwa ebe a taa sị ka anyị tinye ọnụ n'ihe a na-ekwu maka alaba anyị ala Igbo ma ndị Ohanaeze. Ife ndị ọzọ na-eme nso ndị be anyị daalụ na ekene m ụnọ.
Ndị be anyị onye na-ekwukwe n'ebe a wụ Zebedi Korie Nwafọ Ihitoboma fọma etiti. Ọ dị mma ka anyị manye ọnụ na ihe gbasara ọdịnala Igbo na ka ihe si were kwụrụ. Well, come have Igbo oge much. My brother Eze Ifeanyị Chukwu. Ka isi mara Ohanaeze Ndigbo.
Ohanaeze Ndigbo bụ socio-cultural group na-anọchi anya ndị Igbo na Nigeria. Ka m wee bidogodo otu a. Ịma na abịa na Nigeria enwe Arewa, enwe Oduduwa, enwe Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Onye na-anọchite anya anyị na Nigeria. Enwekwa ebe a na-emegbu ndị Igbo ọ na-enwe ihe anyị niile. Ha na-anọchite anya anyị na Abuja. And so far so good. Ijuọ m masị na ha na-ekwu ọfụma. Because owing to where we are coming from, Ndigbo, I can tell that Ohanaeze Ndigbo has been doing fine. Because we know we are people coming from 20 pounds to who we are today. And for their voice to still be heard, I can tell you honestly, Hana Bombo.
Okay. Chizorom. Ka him when you put a one night work okuru. Ohanaeze Ndigbo ka isi mara ya and he so ya razo.
Una aka bede mma ka mbido na. Ịma Ohanaeze Ndigbo normally on paper and their mission statement, all the socio-cultural group that represents the interests of Igbo people, all the cultures they are Ohanaeze.
Yes.
He has that na. Man obu na bịa nyọ anya ọfụma. Efu na ọ dị ka ọha furu efu na otu aha ya nwere ebe ha sọsọ eze. Abịa meeting ndị Ohanaeze ndị Igbo. Tebụl abịa na tebụl. Ịsọsọ ndị eze ju na tebụl. Ndị ọzọ ị ga-afụ ebe a bụ ndị representative governors, ministers, senators na ndị ọzọ. Ka esikwe n'ebe ndị ọha ahụ nọ. Nwanne m nwoke Eze Ifeanyị Chukwu, ana m disagree obere with you na issue of ka ihe a na-akpọ ya na ha na-try. Ọ bụghị eziokwu. So far, the type of money a pump go na Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the caliber of people nọ na Ohanaeze Ndigbo, the type of meetings ha tegoro, the type of ihe degoro mụ na gị na-aba asị na ha rigoro ndị ha na ha nọgoro n'oche. Onweghị onye Igbo nwụju mmiri ara nne ya afọ goro primary 6 ka hapụgodi. In fact, enweghị onye Igbo ma ka esi across main road a ga-enye such opportunity a asị ya mma akaụntụ ofu ihe ọ bụ ha nwa pushiri o ji wee bata n'ala Igbo. Abụ na ọhịa Ohanaeze otu Ohanaeze nọ ka ị nọ ọ bụrụ otu ahụ nwanne m a na ọ bụrụ bọị ka ijere ịgba ịkpọrọ shọpụ ọgaga ọkụ. Ohanaeze ndị Igbo a na-ekwu na mana enweghị ofu single thing, enweghị single serious project ị ga-asị m na oyi Ohanaeze Ndigbo wetagodo n'ala Igbo from 1999 till otu a mụ na gị na-abụ nọ. Every development ọbụla efe dị n'ala Igbo na-abụkarị purely ihe individuals ji aka ha arụrụ onwe ha. Ọzọ bụ steeti gọvanọs chọrọ ịrụ ọrụ. That's why ị bịa n'ala Igbo steeti ọbụla gọvanọ na-ada arụ ọrụ ebe a ka ị ga-afụ ya ga-abụ almost the worst in Nigeria because na anyị ma condition anyị n'obodo ahụ anyị nọ. So nke ọ bụrụ ma nke a Ohanaeze Ndigbo ha dawachachara isi nke efe enye otu aha ha dị, ọ bụghị aha ha na ihe akpọ ha n'aha ka ha na-aza, ọ bụghị ya ka ha na-emekwe n'omume ka nkacha ogodi ebe a.
Okay, nwanne m nwoke Eze Ifeanyi, ebia asịrị gị that na according to them Ohanaeze Ndigbo is an apex Igbo social cultural group in Nigeria.
Yes.
The group represents all Igbo communities within and outside Nigeria. The way things are looking today, the way things are happening around Nigeria and outside Nigeria, mostly on Igbo people, KHR would the thing the Ohanaeze Ndigbo have been doing for the Igbo people. Maybe let's focus on the ones at home.
I have been following up Ohanaeze Ndigbo critically ever since the time of Nyangodo. That's when I actually piqued my interest to monitor what they are doing, and what they're saying. And if you come to Nigeria today, this call for restructuring, Ohanaeze Ndigbo have been championing it. They have been able to unite themselves with the counterparts in Yoruba land, have reached out to Ndi middle belt Nigeria, the Benue, the Taraba, the Kogis, and the rest of them, and they are all in the same place, in the same template now, on calling for Ndigbo or Nigeria to restructure. We have seen many meetings they have had in Yoruba land. We meet in Benue, other places. Ohanaeze is pushing for it. On that, I feel they are doing well. But one name Chizoro is very right too. That Yainafu Sunday is for her. But then that is Nigeria for you. Ijukwenye Yoruba today, what is Oduduwa Congress doing? Have quite the same thing. No. Only the elites are there. And they were conveniently chosen by the federal government to pass down what they want us to know. That is the way Nigeria is run. But on a larger extent, I forget IPOB with problem and can arrest. We saw how Ohanaeze spoke up against that. When it was time to get him released, they needed elders. You saw how they rallied around, got a senator to free him. Not really standing for what IPOB stands for, but Ohanaeze was able to defend the Igbo agenda first. The Igbo people's interest first. And so far, so good. In of my for that, Ohanaeze is strictly, which is how they're supposed to be. They don't have to be all out Igbo. They have to be all out Igbo and at the same time Nigeria. Nigeria country any longer than their own country. Then where did they get their funding and the rest of them from? It's from the same Nigeria. But on a larger extent, understanding the politics of this country, Ohanaeze Ndigbo has represented the interests of the Igbo people. The problem I see we have in Igbo land is not actually the Ohanaeze cultural group, is the political class. The sellouts are there. You know, talk about the governors, talk about Rochas, even if I know one of Enugu State, the Anambra State, Obiano of Anambra State. You can see they are not as one people representing the interest of Ndigbo. They are all looking at the center to see the favor they can get individually. And to this respect, the Igbos are not united. But Ohanaeze, though they have their internal problem, if we go once in a while, which is a natural thing, anyway, where people, they tend to fight for positions. But to a large extent, I've not seen Ohanaeze sell Ndigbo out for their so personal gains. But though they have not been able to push effectively for Ndigbo to get like third bridge, third Niger bridge and other things, which is we know who we are as Ndigbo in Nigeria. We know how they placed us. We know how they have marginalized us, and that's how they want us to be, because they are scared that if we get our acts together, we might want to get away again. That's so. But Ohanaeze has been speaking for the people. Ohanaeze has been trying to paint a good image of the people and struggling to see that the country is structured in such a way that we can independently survive in this system without having to depend on Abuja or Sokoto, as the case may be.
Okay. My brother.
My brother.
Yeah, please jump in.
Please. On the issue of restructuring, okay, first of all, I want to talk in the area where I agree with my brother. Not that I agree with him that much. During the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, almost every Igbo people, Ohanaeze Ndigbo only, in fact, it's just like having to praise a father that took care of his child. Yeah, it's a nice thing, but the standard shouldn't be lowered, that people should be celebrated for taking care of their own children. If Ohanaeze didn't show up, other people, even the individuals, could have come. So that is a very low hanging fruit. That's a very low bar. Then on the issue of restructuring, that's another chief point that everyone goes to. You know, Ohanaeze, because they are, you know, but why, before you measure someone's success or before you rate someone, you credit someone with anything or doing otherwise, you check the resources the person is operating with. You check the environment the person is operating in. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, as a group, has never worked hard to solicit for Igbo support. Every Igbo man, almost every Igbo man, let me not say every Igbo man, but 99.9% of Igbo people are naturally following Ohanaeze Ndigbo unconditionally, because no matter what you do, you can never, ever disassociate yourself from the group that represents you, whether they ask for your support or not. That is one reality of life we will not forget, especially when you see the type of country we are living in. Now, that restructuring is what they all gravitate to. Just to throw us flesh, to throw the dogs some bone. So when we hold it in our mouth, they will be eating, they will be feasting. We'll be holding this in on our mouth for how long? Now, on the issue of Niger Bridge, second Niger Bridge, how many times have they awarded the contract for that thing? Obasanjo, how many times that Niger Bridge goes hand in hand with the dredging of River Niger? Every budget, maybe for a year or two, it may not be there, but I'm sure all throughout Obasanjo's regime, they've been mapping out money for that thing and be paying the contractors. The people they are giving it to are what? Your Igbo contractors who are in cahoots with Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Why do you think that Ohanaeze Ndigbo were fighting themselves so much more fierce during Obasanjo's regime than any other regime? It's because of the money they are sharing there. It's because of the embezzlement, the corruption that is inherent in that organization. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, by every standard, these are the people leading, not leading anywhere, but these are the people representing the most enlightened, the most intelligent, and equally the most confused people in Nigeria, or I would say the most confused and most intelligent at the same time tribe in the world. So you find out that they should be moving at a different pace. It would be very bad to be comparing the speed of my dog with the speed of a rat. A dog is supposed to be running faster than a rat. And these people so far, they've not done much. There is no single thing. In fact, I will say that they've been holding us back so much. That group, until you involve the Oha in it and make it a complete Ohanaeze, we will keep having this type of thing. We will still be running down the circle. Before you know it, after 4 or 5 years, another person will want to remove Nwodo. Another one will come again. We'll be running around the circle. No single tangible thing. First and foremost, what do we need most in the Igbo land? Electricity. This electricity, why don't Ohanaeze, before you talk about general restructuring, which you and I know is a very complex situation, why don't they talk about changing of a law that would make it easier for every state governor to build electricity. In our place, we don't depend on the government for anything. Just give us an enabling environment. We are like Abakaliki people.
Yeah,
we just need you to show us land. Give us land. We will start farming. That is what we are like. Why don't them push for such issues? It's not even going because they can't, because it's not capital incentive to them.
No, but let me come in a little.
Okay.
I have something that I would like to chip in to both of you. Ohanaeze Ndigbo was founded in 1976, and since Biafran War ended, Nigeria fought the Eastern region for them to remain, isn't it so? And there is a reason for them to remain as one country. Then since that war have ended, they have not tried to rebuild the Eastern region. No one cement, no one block. Is it not the duty of this Ohanaeze Ndigbo to remind Nigeria, just let's keep electricity, road and whatever, but remind Nigeria that you fought this part of the nation for them to remain, and after destroying their infrastructures and everything, don't you think it needs to be rebuilt?
Okay, let me come in here. Okay. Let me come in here. Let us put in mind the kind of country we are living in. We are discussing Ohanaeze Ndigbo as if they are living in an ideal society or country. No. There's nothing he can do in Nigeria without going to the Senate and the House of Rep. Simple as that. Ohanaeze, they are not part of the lawmaking. They cannot push anything. All they can do is to tell the senators or the representatives that are from this part of the country to go vote for a certain thing. Then go to the Senate. How many seats do we, as the Igbos, have there? We have only 5 states. 5 times 3. That's what we have in the Senate. You go down to House of Rep. How many do we have there? The whole thing boils down that they have structured this country in such a way that there is a win-win situation for the Hausa man. The Hausa man is everywhere in the Senate.
But don't you also
Can I come in?
Wait. Don't you also think that it's also the duty of the so-called socio-cultural group that are representing the Igbo community, home and abroad, to come back home, tell the people they are representing what is going on, and the people they are representing will tell them what they want and how they want it, and they will also call in their, maybe they will form a very strong alliance. That means Ohanaeze working with the Oha, as they call themselves, because if they start working with the Oha, they may use this cultural group to also collide with Yorubas and demanded for 1963 constitution, not restructuring. Leave restructuring is fake. It's wayo. Let's press Nigeria. We don't want to pull. Ohanaeze is not supporting IPOB to divide Nigeria, but they have one thing in common. Yoruba, do we want this country to move forward? Hausa, should we still continue as one nation? We want the constitution we received that day we got our independence. Don't you think that they have such power to build such a bridge?
Yes, I watched a video of Obani Koro fathers yesterday, making exactly the same statement you've made now, that restructuring is nothing to him. It makes no sense. It's a waste of time giving resources to some criminals called governors. That the best thing Nigeria can do is to go back to her confederation system of government. That's what he said. And I also know that Ohanaeze Ndigbo has been meeting with all the elites, except the Arewa. They have been meeting with all the elites discussing on this issue. Either we restructure or we go back to who we were before the war, and then before the military took over and messed up. And again, that the constitution we are using today is not written by the Nigerian people, but about 8 men or 7 men, military men, have sat down and wrote down this constitution. Until date, Nigeria is still amending what they don't know in the name of amending constitution. I'm on phone. I'll call you back. You understand? So, but what I want you to understand, that we're living in a very, very useless system. A system that a region cannot make a decision. Whatever you say doesn't matter. Obviously, we all know that Atiku Abubakar won this election, of which it was that Ohanaeze that lobbied for Obi to be his deputy, to make sure we have one of our own there. But what happened? Buhari simply said he's not going to be the president. That's how hopeless the country is. So we have to understand. I'm coming. We have to understand that if these people push too much, they are eliminated. I mean, killed.
Nobody will kill them. Let this man finish. Then I will come in.
Let me come in first. Let me come in. First and foremost, in 2016, from 2016, from 2015, and I've been making videos telling people that, see, next PDP knows that they've wronged the Igbo people. That what they did by giving Jonathan, someone from South, first and foremost, they tricked Igbo people by telling them that it will be a kind of a compromise, that it will be ordinary. Let's not forget that thing. Then they gave someone entirely different, deep South. I told people that because of this, PDP knows that they've lost faith in Igbo people, that they would make an Igbo man either their presidential flag bearer or vice, and it will be in the person, someone in form of P2B. And by March 2016, I made a video and said it would be P2B. You don't need to. Ohanaeze Ndigbo didn't need to do much for me to come. If I could sit down in my home and see that permutation and got it right to the T, that please let us stop lowering that bar. We are making the bar so low. And when you are talking about the restructuring, it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Now, what is the thing that everyone would agree on in the country? What would be easy to sell? Why I'm saying this is this. Anything that involves the government spending money in your region, forget it. It's difficult to do in Abuja. But there is something you will do, you will give, and they will, as long as the presidency is not going to spend a dime, they will give it to everybody, which is, let us use our skills. We have industries, we have industrialists, we have many people, businessmen, things that require energy. We need to revive Onisha, industrial estate. We need to revive Aba. We need to revive all those things. You can't do that without energy. Now, as Ohanaeze Ndigbo, leave the problem of the whole Nigeria at a corner. Fight for your own people first and foremost, which is, why did they do that electricity law, which says that if a state generates energy, they have to link it to the national grid. When they did it, it was because, in fact, it was the minority that wanted that law. They were afraid that if these people can go and build power plants in the north, if you notice, most of our this thing comes from Kainja, Niger State. Yeah. Now, they were afraid that power will be only in that place. But things has changed. The society has evolved. Now it is counterproductive to us. Since they said they've privatized electricity, you will put them in a position where they will have no other option. In fact, imagine Ohanaeze Ndigbo telling the whole 15 senators to join and write a bill which says that states can now develop their own energy and manage it without being forced to link it to the national grid. Just tell me the states that will say no to this thing. And this is the thing you need. By the time you do it, you have electricity. With electricity, you create jobs for the people. When the people have jobs, then we can move forward. That is why I'm saying this restructuring issue, we are saying it as if it's a simple issue. No, it's the most complex issue. Restructuring will touch the pockets of the people, even the people in London, even the people in Washington. It will disturb them. So for now, it's not going to happen. Now, what are we going to do? What is the best thing that we will need to do? That goes back to the only question I'll be asking them. Can you tell me the basic problem facing the Igbo man? It's poverty. It's poverty. Let's say the truth. Let's say the truth. Now, how do we solve it? This is what should be at the forefront of a group that says they represent the Igbo people. Not when you ask them, they will tell you it was because of us that they gave our brother the VP post, or they gave him they made him a running mate. Because of Ohanaeze, they made this one a minister. Because of Ohanaeze, it was the first time an Igbo man took this post. Forget about positions and all these things. I want the things that will benefit the common man in the street. That is why we need to put back the Oha in Ohanaeze, because so far the Oha is missing. If you notice, all the issues we've been listing for Ohanaeze Ndigbo, those are issues for rich men, for people who are semi-comfortable and people who are comfortable. None of these things matters to the people in the street. None of them matters to the market woman who is going outside not knowing if there will be customers. Not that people don't want what she's selling, but they don't have money. Why don't people have money? Because they don't have jobs. We are talking about how do we educate our people, save them from all this religious bullshit they're believing in. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, why don't we lay the old ancient Igbo, why don't we revive the ancient Igbo foundation? These are issues we should be talking about.
Yes,
how do we get people?
Yes, you are right, my brother. Let me jump in a little. You have hit lots of points now. My brother, Ifeanyi Chukwu, men listening to this thing that our brother is pointing now, you will notice that Ohanaeze is failing. Because Ohanaeze is there. Our culture, our language, everything is just evaporating. And they are not doing anything to protect it.
And
thank you. And before, when we are still small, if you didn't pass Igbo language, you may not get admission or get one thing or the other. Those things have been deleted from the Nigerian affairs. And Ohanaeze Ndigbo, we are there. The thing that I would like to chip in is this. Ohanaeze Ndigbo are not strategical in the affairs of Igbo people. They're only reacting to the affairs of Nigeria. 1. 2. Ohanaeze Ndigbo shouldn't be taking side whenever election is coming, because they are there for the interest of the people, not for the interest of whosoever that wins. They should be neutral whenever politics comes in, because you don't know who is going to win. You understand?
Yes.
Them choosing side, PDP or APC or whatever, is wrong. 2, they should drop. I know that it's the Nigerian government that picked them. Yes, they pick you for their own interest, but at least 3 or 4% interest of your people should be in your blood, in the sense that you don't need to.
Na interest emahazo na obu na oha no Ohanaeze na interest aga represent abụghị interest ndị pikiri ha maka ọgụ na mgbaga na ada there. Inwe ha idea.
Yes, that's why I just mentioned before that they are not reporting back to the people. Their name is Oha, that's the people, the Igbo people. And they are not reporting back to the people what's going on, the message you people are sending us. You know, the way the senators supposed to be doing, they're supposed to be reporting back to the people that voted them in to represent them. Look at what is going on. Look at how Nigeria is being run. We are fighting this and that. But I believe that if Ohanaeze will become more strategical, in the sense that leave Hausa with their Senate, leave Hausa with whatever they are holding. Hausa is ruling Nigeria today because of the alliance with Yoruba. Focus on Yoruba. Tell Yoruba people, did you lose anything after independence? Everybody got it right. Everybody has got whatever that belongs to them. Please, let's leave this alliance of criminality, alliance that favored only one side of the country. Let's go back and put our people should be agitating. That shouldn't be a problem. The agitation should be going on. You know, everything or I don't know whatever. Everybody should be doing. But let this elite press Nigeria to adopt or reinstall the normal constitution that will favor every corner of Nigeria. That will make Nigeria to run like a nation. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria is falling out from, if you look at Nigeria passport index, do you know that if Nigeria can travel to 20 countries, 99% of them are ECOWAS countries. Nigerian passport can't even go to Somalia. Look at Somalia. These people, Yemen, Nigeria need visa to Yemen to tell you Syria, we are gone.
Syria, Iraq.
You know, the country is no longer functioning as a country.
Actually,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
The fact is that we all know the problem of this country. But one thing I keep saying, I'm not standing in defense for Ohanaeze, but this thing is Nigeria. Ohanaeze cannot vote. They don't have the veto power to make these changes. They have to lobby, and I know they have been lobbying Yoruba seriously. I live in Yoruba land. Actually, in every corner I go, you see Yoruba discussing that. Is it true that Igbo and Yoruba are one? These are part of their efforts, you know, using the Obatala and the other cases. They are lobbying Yoruba land, but you know the outside man is also lobbying Yoruba man. You saw Tinubu, how many bullion van that was sent to him from Kaduna for the election. This money got to the Obas. It got to everybody. So in Nigeria, if you talk about lobbying, you have to have money. Ohanaeze depend on federal government. Who is the federal government? It's the same Nigeria we're talking about. That's how they want Nigeria to be.
That's why I mentioned something.
Incapacitated.
Yeah,
they are so incapacitated to make the change.
Wait, that's why I chipped in something like strategic. You know,
go ahead. Because pụtara mmadụ enweghị ike na-aga na-aṅụ mmiri at the same time. Mmadụ enweghị ike na-aga ije na-aṅụkwa mmiri at the same time.
Yes,
it's possible.
Okay. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, can separate any issues anyị, can compartmentalize these issues. Nke anụ abụ ihe a na-achọ from Nigeria. Nke abụ ihe a na-achọ from ana Igbo. Enwere some things na-enye ya ọdị external influence to do it na ana Igbo. Things like Ohanaeze Ndigbo, ọ bụrụ na enwere ọha n'ime Ohanaeze Ndigbo ahụ, ọha ga-arally around from the people. Make sure na governor ọbụla ya make sure na local government niile na-arụ ọrụ. Let there be local government councillorship election. Let people start participating in it. Let there be. Is there any political education in Igbo land? Igbo land is the only place that pre-1999, at the twilight of the military regime, it's only in Igbo land that you didn't see people going house to house to sensitize people on what voting is. We only did our own on the radio and television. Other people did on radio and TV and still went house to house. A lot of people don't vote. Did you see the number of people that registered to vote in Southeast in Igbo land? Although I will put some of the blame on IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu and co. Because at that point, a lot of people were listening to them and they refused to register. Now, do you see how we have incapacitated ourselves? Let Ohanaeze Ndigbo bring government closer to the Oha. Our problem with Abuja is our problem with Abuja. But let us focus on our problem start with our governors.
I agree with
all these things. They are taking money from market women. How can all these women, they are taking tickets? If they are doing it in all parts of Nigeria, should we do it in Igbo land too? It's only in Igbo land that people still catch people on the street for tax. Who are you? For tax. Imagine, just look at that thing. It's only in Igbo land. There are many things that our governors are doing that Ohanaeze Ndigbo can put an end to. But if Ohanaeze Ndigbo sensitize the people, people will start participating. Then all these thugs will not be in the mainstream politics. They will be on the fringes. The only people participating in politics in Igbo land are touts. Only touts. That is why they are going to snatch boxes. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, why don't they educate the people on that everybody, there is no neighborhood that don't have guns. This is our polling unit. Even if things are not working in the whole of Nigeria, in all the Igbo states, the State Independence Electoral Commission will be functional. Boxes will go there. Ohanaeze Ndigbo are too focused on looking for their own, and they are not looking out for the people. A lot of them, imagine you can pick out the top 50 people in Ohanaeze Ndigbo. They don't know what it means to be 2 million naira poor. They've never been poor that they have only 2 million naira. How do you expect those people to understand the needs of the people? Their needs will be in the same class they are on. So it's better we reform it or we obliterate everything.
Good. You're right. I cannot argue over that. Ohanaeze Ndigbo have not played their role in Igbo land. And that's why the IPOB had to come and replace them. And if you ask me today, I will tell you they are being mismanaged. Because I have spoken in different IPOB forum, and I said, okay, you have OPC in the West, asking for almost the same thing. Then you have men in the South, they call it South-South, let me just say so. There's nothing like that. In the South-South, then you have the men and the Avengers and every other one. You have the IPOB. Okay, why don't you begin to unite with these people? You need population to fight this Fulani oligarchy going on in this country. We all know what it is. But instead of IPOB to do that, they've turned around to call Ofemano, traitors, these, selling back the Yoruba to the Hausa man. I expected Ohanaeze Ndigbo to embrace IPOB. Because there used to be IPOB elders, the elders that took the federal government to court. Bring them under one umbrella, make sure we don't have what we have today.
They don't want to share that money that is coming from
but brother, please.
Hold on. So that we don't have to split IPOB to what it is, because it was a good move. We had a good number. Imagine if we united with the Yorubas. Our voice would have been heard. Let's not even talk about splitting the country for now. But things are not working. Let's set things right. The only thing that keeps Hausa man in this country till date is because of what is benefiting from the South.
Yes.
The moment that stops, they want to leave the country, I'm telling you. They'll be the one agitating for the splitting of this country. The corruption in the governance or governance of this country, is the reason the Hausa man is still very much here. But Ohanaeze is not doing that. Very, very bad. They are not doing that. The Oduduwa people are also not doing that. Everybody is looking at the center, where they will galvanize the whole money from different part of the country and cascade it down to those who will make sure that people don't uprise against them. Yes, I understand that is actually out of it. But when I was trying to speak a little bit in favor of Ohanaeze, comparing them with what we have in the North, because the North have been they've been leading the country since almost independence of this country, and go to the North, you see there's nothing to show there. And they have the Arewa Consultative Forum and the rest of them. They come to Yoruba land here. Yoruba used to be the most educated people, but the highest Agbero and the hooligans are in Yoruba land today. And the OPC and Oduduwa, whatever, is just kind of talks. Ohanaeze, to an extent, is better than them. But based on who we are and what we expect of our people, Ohanaeze has not lived up to expectation. It's not late now.
My brother,
it's not late.
I will argue on that level. Ohanaeze is not better than the Yorubas.
Brother, I want to bring something. Please, okay. I want to say chip in.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother, let me. It's very awkward for me to defend Ohanaeze better. I have to defend them here because I believe in truth. Even though it doesn't benefit me or benefit my side, truth is like pregnancy. You are either pregnant or you are not. You can't be half pregnant. So there is nothing like a half truth. Either you're telling the truth or you're lying. So let me defend Ohanaeze Ndigbo on their issue with IPOB. Ohanaeze Ndigbo, they have every reason to be angry with IPOB because they feel that they were neglected by Nnamdi Kanu after all the efforts they put making sure that he's released. In fact, let me tell you something. IPOB are a bunch of people, a bunch of youths who have the zeal, the power, the energy but they don't have the experience those old people are possessing. The green light to eliminating Nnamdi Kanu started after the meeting with Ohanaeze fell in Enugu. That was when he was green lighted. In fact, as a matter of fact, it wasn't Buhari that brought up the idea of proscribing IPOB. It was Ohanaeze Ndigbo and the governors, because now they were seeing that the force was too much. The IPOB had the opportunity to go into Ohanaeze and reform the whole place and take control of the whole thing, had they softened their stance a little bit. So Ohanaeze Ndigbo felt threatened.
1 minute, just 1 minute, 1 minute. Hold it there. You will continue. You know, these things normally happens when one person is leading a huge organization. If at all IPOB is being managed like a government, that they have bodies, you understand? I believe that it will function differently and more. Their things will be more mature.
And I don't want us to turn this into an IPOB issue, but let's just cut it at this thing. But let me make the point I'll try to make. They allowed those old men in Ohanaeze to outplay them. Of course, you can anafu nwatakịrị rigodu polu eletrik manfia.
Yes.
Ihe mere Ohanaeze just ya can just cheap in ya bụ ihe mere if Ohanaeze na IPOB ji eburu mmanụ na mmiri that can never mix. So oburu manka let them forget it. That one is gone.
But my brother, 1 minute. Hold it there. We all are living outside Africa. You understand? And we normally see that the places where we are living, they do have this fraction as Ohanaeze and IPOB. But they do find common ground to agree and move forward. Why in our own culture is no and final, the door is closed and we will not? Why is it that way? Is it not for the interest of the people? It shouldn't be something personal. We should see it. If you're a chairman of any Igbo organization and I am a member, if I come to that meeting and insult you, I insulted you in that meeting. Outside the meeting, we are friends. But when it comes to meetings affairs,
because it's nothing personal.
Yes, right. It's nothing personal. You know, so they should have back doors to discuss, because the IPOB is the affairs of Ndigbo. Ohanaeze Ndigbo is the affairs of Ndigbo. Are they now fighting who will lead each other? It shouldn't be them. It should be us.
The problem is battle of supremacy.
You're right.
Mazob, when Mazob started, Owazurike knew how to play the game. Now I'm saying this in as somebody that hates Owazurike with passion. As a matter of fact, if I'm left with Owazurike at the back of an alley, I'm not sure he will make it out there alive, because his stupidity caused the loss of the lives of my friends, my childhood friends. I will never forgive him for that. I'll take that to my grave. But there is something he did. He understood how to play the game, even though he later showed himself to be incompetent and as corrupt as the people he was accusing of corruption. But he understood how to soft pedal on some issues and play along with that. That was what gave Peter Obi the Anambra State gubernatorial seat. When you look at that, you will see that there is a sharp difference in the way Ohanaeze Ndigbo and Mazob are run and the way IPOB is being run. IPOB is run like, let me say, it's a kind of a dictatorial organization where it's almost becoming like a court anyway, where any disagreement brings the tag of traitor, saboteur. Even those that don't know how to spell saboteur, we call you saboteur, they call you names, just a disagreement on policy. And that is because that is because when you get a group that everyone must receive their talking points and belief from an established order. That means you have a group that is very intolerant, and it normally ends in disaster, which is what is happening in IPOB so far. So the thing is this: IPOB is not being run by an Igbo organization, like an Igbo organization. We Igbos, nobody leads us, nobody rules us. For you to occupy any position of leadership, it has to come with the consent of the people. And you can't have that when you have someone that behaves almost like a tyrant. That's what I have to say.
I want to quickly come in there.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, I am one of the persons that believe that MASOP should be there. It doesn't matter how foolish they are. They control numbers. That's democracy. That's politics. IPOB should be there. Belie movement should be there. Lower Niger Congress should be there. Ohanaeze Ndigbo should be there.
Yeah.
But just like onions have different exfoliates. You peel one, you find another one. You keep peeling to get to the nucleus. There should be a nucleus organization that controls all these ones.
Yes.
Until Ndigbo water this system of politicking, we are not going anywhere. Check in the Osaketa. Ndị youth forum, Arewa, Hanwe elder. Boko Haram, the same thing we're talking about. I don't think we're talking about something different. And we Hessman. And we new one, Kitana breed in Kaduna State. Janjaweed. See, once you outside is not benefiting, they're not getting what they want from this organization. Nigeria. It's just something set up. It's a business center. You know, once they're not getting enough, they are going to disturb the system. And I know Hessman radio station. Do you know what the power of the radio station? You don't know until you know what made IPOB what it is today. Then you have to pay them 100 something billion naira. Are you getting it? But in the water, when you're not open, you say, and you're going to be bad. They are bad. I want the best. That is wrong. It's very, very, very wrong. As Mazi said, if you want any organization to survive, don't build it on your head. Build it around an institution so that it cannot be destroyed. When you're not there, they should continue. They should not be clueless until you come back. In that case, you're not building the system. You're not fighting for the people. You're just trying to make yourself.
Court.
Hello?
Then how do you think, two of you now, how do you guys think that we should restructure ourselves, not Nigeria now? Because all these groups that we are building, still, Awasa is still outmaneuvering us. It means we are the people that need restructuring, not Nigeria. How do we restructure ourselves?
Yes. Outside is not maneuvering us. Outside is intimidating us. They have got more guns than we do. Only some certain things you cannot say in the public space like this, but let me tell you, there's nobody that will take you seriously if you cannot disturb them, if they're not scared of what you can do. What can the Igbo man do now? Nothing. We are all in the Chukwuaka Abiyama, as Elohim. That is what we depend on. We must have a hidden force unknown to the center that can disturb this country, and they will begin to take us very, very seriously. And it is in the hands of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo to bring together all these organizations. And then let's start restructuring an Igbo to start with. The local government should work. The state governor cannot be taking the money and appointing whoever he wants. Let's make it work in an Igbo. Then, once it works in an Igbo, they will begin to take us serious. If you suggest that to the center, they will look at what you have done in your own place. Let's look at the governors and ask them, so amount of money has been sent to you. We know these things. It's in the public space. How did you use it? Have you used it well? And if Ohanaeze is not doing this very well, that hidden force that is very, very later can show them little.
Can I chip in a little thing? Because I believe that Nigerian government that are intimidating our people is because of our governors are building underground tunnel for them to penetrate. And another thing, if this Ohanaeze Ndigbo will realize, for them to realize their potential, their power, They have to come down to the people, first of all. It should stop being this SS of a thing. It should be on her. Because if they start coming back to the people, because they cannot control the governors. And if you cannot control the governors, what do? As a strategic man, you don't react to issues. You start working against that system so that tomorrow you will be immune to whatever they are trying to build. Look at how Putin have been run Russia. The whole Western command are armed to the teeth. Russia can't challenge them, but no bullet have been fired because of strategic thinking. They don't react to issues, rather they prevent it from happening. What Ohanaeze should be doing now is this: Nigeria is nowhere to be reached. The Senate is too powerful. Yorubas, the elite, Yorubas are loyal to their elites. That's their elderly men. They don't go against their will. Now, how do we do it? We need to restructure, as you just mentioned. How do we restructure? Ohanaeze cannot control the governors nor the political elites of the eastern region. They should now go down to the Oha. You know? There's now one phone is disturbing there on the background.
It's from me. I'll end it now.
Okay. And the Ohanaeze Ndigbo should now bring their shoulders down, go down to the people and start sensitizing the people themselves.
But why would you use that word, that Ohanaeze Ndigbo should go down to the people? Why must it be them go? Why don't the people go in there and break up the entire thing? Why don't the people call for a protest that we are gathering today in so place? We want the president, every member of the EXCO should come in there.
Go ahead.
They drag them in there. If they don't want to answer them, then we declare them all persona non grata. When we will form a new body entirely. Why don't the people walk in there? You think freedom will be given?
That is where people like IPOB is supposed to come in.
But they dropped the ball severally.
No, IPOB disappointed me. They really disappointed me.
They dropped the ball severally, even without them. They are out of the game entirely. Because how can you go into a political negotiation and say, I'm going with 1 point and I'm not going to soft pedal? That is not politics. You don't make such demands unless you are the United States of America, which you ain't. Now, the people should walk in there. In fact, I'm doing a video on this evening. The people should walk in there. Demand these people appear. Give them this thing, an ultimatum. From now till next 2 years, we demand an election, and this should be the 2 years should be like 2 years before the next general election in Nigeria. We demand you hold an election, and anyone who wants to run for this office should gather 100,000 signatures from 20,000 signatures from 20 Igbo states. If you want to run, you are free. You deposit 10 million or 15 million. You bring it in there. Why you are depositing it is because the election has to be run in a credible way, and it has to involve money. We have our own electoral commission. That year, if you want to be the president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, go out and campaign. Go meet the people. Now it will be a battle. Sometimes you will see that it's a battle between a rich man selected by the governors or a man of the people, a populist would rise, and you will see that people will vote for that populist. Then, if that populist goes there, you are going with the mandate of the people. All these people in Ohanaeze, they don't owe us shit because they were never voted in the first place.
The fact is that the governors select who becomes a member of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Then who select the governments? The governors. We know they are selected from Sokoto. The Caliphate does that.
It's not Sokoto. They are selected. They are all selected from the boards that dwell in Abuja. which normally hold their meeting in European cities. The Sokoto Caliphate is gone. Let me tell you, if you don't know it.
There's a reason I feel so. Do you know the reason I feel so? Because when Enugu State Governor was having problem because the primary was not, he was not duly elected to represent the party. What he did was he went to Sokoto, negotiated with Sultan of Sokoto, and then had to give him an honorary whatever for working in Soka during Biafran War and all that, you know. And he was celebrated. He had 3 days. Market was shut down for him, and thereafter the case died.
That is because the Northwest controlled the PDP for now. Before it was the Northeast. The Northeast was controlling the PDP. Now it's the Northwest.
Yeah.
The whole rigging machine, the whole power of PDP. Who is the PDP chairman? Who are the members of board of trustees? Now go and check what it was before. At a time it was North Central. Niger State decides. Then it became Katsina under PDP. Now presently in Abuja, it's not even the Northwest. That much. So that is because the PDP, he is a member of the PDP. If he was in APC, he will be going to Katsina.
Then how do we advise, maybe use the platform to send out messages and make sure that IPOB should know what they should be doing? They should restructure themselves.
Brother, please, when you are talking about anything about Igbo land, IPOB is a poisoned apple. It's a poison
not
chalice.
Not only IPOB. I would like to mention IPOB and MASOP.
Just say Igbo people, the entire Igbo people.
But then, let's give or take, to be honest to ourselves. IPOB has a good number of our people following them now.
Yes.
Good number.
Yes.
Don't forget, it comes to politics, number is very, very critical. Tinubu don't deal with the elites. Tinubu goes with the Agbero, the nobodies in Yoruba land. And he's the one ruling everybody. So if IPOB is listening to us today, their leadership, because I don't really know, the way they squash their leadership is always very confusing. You have a known people, next time one person disbands everybody, and then new people are coming up, we don't know them. But if they are listening now, they should understand that the essence of Biafra is for a good life, for us to live and have a good life as Igbo people, and I'll achieve our Igbo dream. I'm already achieving my Igbo dream ever since I became a traditionalist. I left religion and every other thing. So that they should stand for everything that represents Igbo. They should get their hands of that Aka monkey of Igbo from Israel out of this Igbo soup. Let's be proud of ourselves, Igbo people, and project our Igbo-ness. They have the number. They are feared. Because if they pull up 10,000 people in Igbo land, every political class will run away. And they can pull more than that. So let them begin to use them, teach them politics. Don't teach them Yahweh and Shama and the Rafa and the Adonai. Those things are gone. The time is gone. Teach them practical things they can use to survive now. Teach them how to, teach them how to question their local government chairman, the senators, the governors. Teach them to be agitative.
That's what I said. Go back to the people,
Brother.
Go back to the people.
Let me come in.
Yeah.
Do you think that if IPOB guys know this thing, that one person will be ruling them? No. How does power flow in that place? It has to come from the head. Now the man at the helm is not going to let this thing transcend. So what you are going to do, what you are going to see, IPOB already has a bad name. There is
the bad name is nothing. Igbo had a bad name. Igbo had a bad name. We can always fix that.
Wait. If you are having any meeting, if you have a group that has a plan to take over Igbo land, and they have a formidable plan, my brother, the Biafran flag, just one Biafran flag flying in a stadium occupied by, let's say, 20,000, 40,000 people. That flag alone could attract gunfire there, and they will tell you they are justified because it's a terrorist group. Let people understand this. I don't like that tag. I'm not happy that tag the terrorist group. But if you are doing anything in Igbo land right now, disassociate it from any group in name. No grant for MASOB, no grant for IPOB, no grant for Igbo Youth Council, no grant for, this is purely Igbo thing. And when we are campaigning, Igbos in America, Igbos in everywhere will have the opportunity to cast their vote. When we talk about independence, we talk about it separately. Then, when you find out that when you broaden the place, you did not personally go to any group in particular to do this thing. When you set by the time you elect the people that will represent you, as long as it's a popular vote, you find out that many IPOB members will be in executive too. Some MASO members could be there. Some neutral people could be there. Then you find out that you have brought everybody together without even mentioning any names. Just avoid anything that will bring a problem.
I understand you. You have to. I don't dispute what you said now. What I'm trying to bring in now is that somebody has the power. It's not easy to have. To say, someone people come here and they come. Don't joke with that man. Brother, don't you ever. I'm coming.
The person you're
coming. Let me
share your dream.
Such men should be sought for, approached, find every means possible to bring him on board. If he means to lobby him, if he needs money, you lobby him. That's the simple way of bribing people. You lobby him to make sure you are in the same template. Right now, if you call for any Igbo whatever, an IPOB say no Igbo man should go there, they are not coming.
It's not true. It's not.
Let me finish. I want to drop this point. 30th of May just passed, and people sat back home. We were not used to sitting back home until IPOB.
We were used to sitting back home. We were doing it in Onitsha back in the days.
I know it's a small thing now.
No.
I studied in Onitsha.
Those days. No, it's because social media. There is social media now that everybody is seeing it. I don't know where you are staying before.
No, but give it.
2006, 2003, 2002,
make una hold on. Wait.
I want to pass it. I've not been able to pass the message I wanted to pass. I wanted to say something. Give or take, you still have a reasonable number of our people hearkening to these voices.
Of course.
Ohanaeze should come as a leader now. Bring all of them together. Use all their communication channel to pass their agenda and be very transparent. I agree that some people have been accruing a lot of powers to themselves. And that's why when you say, let's go into politics, they say, no. We don't trust the politicians, but we trust you. The reason being that if we elect a governor under IPOB system, he's going to look bigger than some people who just want to be the biggest in that system. I understand all these things, but it's not that elders come. You consult. Just bring your family together. Now, this is what we want to do. The best way to get our freedom is to start within. Okay, bring all your mercenaries. Let's work together. This is the role I'm giving to you. This is the role I'm giving to you, myself. This is the role I'm giving to you. Okay, Lower Niger Congress. People are a lot of well-learned people, lawyers. Okay, you'll be representing us to place. We are going to stay with the government to know the minds of the government, and we'll return back to you based on what we find out. Simple, and be honest. Put yourself under serious oaths, not all these oaths. And then Igbo land will begin to take shape. That's me. That's what I see.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Bravo. So, Chizoram, what would you like to chip in?
Let me tell you something. Saying it is one thing. You are talking ideal, like in an ideal setting. But when you look at the thing, you later went at the end of your speech and said the gospel truth. The truth is this. These people have said that it is Biafra or death already. You know what happened when they were told that, the fact they had to be lied to, that a document was signed and sealed by whatever people they didn't mention, just to assuage the anger of their people when they told them to now go and vote. Do you know how many people that left IPOB after they were told to go and vote? I can tell you people that are living with me in the same city, the way I mocked them, in fact, about 60% of them have disassociated themselves from the group, openly being hostile to the man in question right now. So, do you think that he will ever come and tell these people, okay, now we are soft landing, when he dropped the ball on the Anambra boycott? After the boycott, he dropped the ball on voters registration. He dropped the ball on the election again, which goes back to another voters registration, because how could they have voted when they didn't register? He dropped the ball 3 good times. Now, the final one is that their last hope is just like the gambler's last bet.
Yeah, but Chizoram, if, like this our brother just said, if at all we call upon the Ohanaeze Ndigbo, look at what is going on. These guys, all of you guys are fighting the same thing for the betterment of Igbo people. And it will not work if we keep on fighting each other this way. And it will not function if we stop building bridges, like building alliance with Yorubas. Because Hausas that are ruling us today, that are doing whatever they are doing in Nigeria today, is because the alliance
please,
with Yorubas.
Let me interject a little bit before I go, because I'm going out now. Listen.
Okay.
That goes back to this issue I'm talking about. Are we talking about the local issues first? Let us focus on the local issues first. Then from then we'll build on the other one. How are we going to focus on the local issue if we don't obliterate this thing first? Talking about going to meet people, meet that. We've been meeting this thing since 1998. The Just Convention, we saw what happened. All those things, we've been building these things, and we are neglecting the basic issues. Agriculture is dead in our place. We have a fertile land. People are mocking us that people who can't even grow their own food are calling for this, calling for that. Let us leave these things. It's only in Igbo land that everybody, if they grow their food in Benue State, they bring it to sell to us. If they grow their food in those states, they bring it to sell to us. If they grow in everywhere, they bring it to sell to us. And if they didn't give to us, we will die of hunger. And as they're giving to us, it is money leaving our place. If there are farms, all these things we teach our people, the money will still be rotating. That farmer that will build a hotel in Makurudi will not be a farmer that will build a hotel in Nnewi, Ekulobi, Onitsha, all these places. This is the basic things we should focus on. Let us forget about reaching out across the Niger. Let us secure our own backyard first and foremost. That is my last contribution, and I want to drop here, bro.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazi.
I'm actually planning to go pick up the children from school.
Okay,
now.
Thank you, my people. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for joining the program.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys did well.
I appreciate your program. We need it. We need it to really understand. But my last word here is I want people. Just as a human flesh, the hand can be bad, but the other side will help the hand,
Yes.
So whether IPOB is getting it right, or is getting it wrong, or anybody, the main thing is that if we don't get it right, one part is sick, and we have to help that side. So it's time we galvanize those energy. Energy is neither destroyed, it's neither created nor destroyed. So the energy is up now. What do we do? Let's utilize it. Let's make sure that it cash into our own gain.
Yes.
This idea of saboteur, that everybody can be on the same ship. That's wrong. Because the ship capsizes, that is the end of us. So we have to have different platforms at which we reach out to our people. And you can be doing good on your platform, and I'm doing good. In the end, we'll be victorious. That's what they say. So let this hate and all this reduce, and try and be transparent. Don't tell me that because I'm not into your system, I don't know what you're doing. That's not democratic. I should be able to know what you're doing because you're part of me, and you should be able to know what I'm doing too. We have common enemy, so why do we have this problem within ourselves? So that's what I want to say today, and thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother, and thank you, all our viewers. And thank you very much for joining in. Thank you for being part of this program, and I will make sure that this program will be going on from time to time. That's all I have for you now. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Bye bye. And my viewers, you have seen it all. We will be holding this program from time to time, discussing the affairs of the Igbo people and also Nigeria as a whole, because the solution to Nigeria is not only separation. We have to, first of all, cure the problem before we try to separate or pull out of Nigeria. And pulling out is that the largest option. We have not utilized other things out there. So Ohanaeze Ndigbo has a very powerful role to play. And I will also send out a message now. If somebody here or somebody that will watch this program later has the number of Nyanwodo, I would like you to send it to me through one way or the other. I will try to reach him, maybe also host him on this platform. God bless you, and bye-bye for now.